Although it was years ago, Jeremy Goss, I remember those times at Bloomington High School in the PE class with old Mr. Loy. He was a good man. Those were some good times. I remember. I remember those middle weeks. They were very good. They were very good. I remember there was lots of literacy there in the schooling at Bloomington High School. I would lead them in stretches. Now I cannot stretch like I used to, but I would lead them in stretches. And I would explain how these stretches are a form of literacy. Being able to move is a form of physical literacy. The students, they were blind to it, but they did learn, I feel. Those weeks were good, very good. Mr. Lloyd, I was basically leading the classroom back then. It was good. Probably the best experience out of my 60 years of teaching was at Bloomington High School. It was a great school. Those were some great students. Hold on, commotion. Oh, sorry, my wife, she's calling for me. But Bloomington High School, yes, back to where we started. That was years ago. Oh, I remember that first week I just led in stretches and they went outside on the track. It was a very brisk day, very brisk. I keep my condo at 80 degrees now. It was like 55 out. Are you kidding me? The students, they walked on the track. They ran on the track. It was cold. But Mr. Lloyd was recording their mile times. And that was some student work. And they were running, which was a form of physical literacy. The next week, we played indoor soccer. Sorry, my hair's all over the place. I had a bad hair day. Indoor soccer. And I led the class on indoor soccer. And we explained some strategies. I asked them some strategies for indoor soccer. It's a little played differently now. But back then, you really wanted to be on the offensive and use those walls. Use those walls. So after indoor soccer, I would ask them what was some strategies that were effective. Strategies in physical education. It is a big form of literacy. People nowadays, they understand what literacy is in physical education. But back then, 60 years ago, they just did not know. They didn't know. But they know now. If only they knew back then what they know now. Maybe I was a founding father of getting physical literacy. I like to consider myself one. But yes, back then, indoor soccer, strategies, we had cues for the soccer pass. I would demonstrate right now, but I just can't move without my walker. It was some good times back then at Bloomington High School with Mr. Loy. You know, I can't wait to tell you next week when I can get away from my wife about those next 2 weeks at Bloomington High School, because those were some good weeks as well. Good weeks. Just like these 2 weeks, they were great weeks. That literacy is all over the class in PE. People know it now, but back then they just did not know cues and strategies of indoor soccer. They were there. The students, they were doing it and not knowing. But I told them that cues to use the inside of your foot, that is a cue to indoor soccer, to soccer passing. Strategies. Showing fit moving, playing soccer is a form of physical literacy, and they did not realize, but I told them, and I will continue to tell them. Whew, you got a man all worn out. Honey, I'll be right there. Goodbye.